Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. More signs that a federal election is not that far off. An update on a live Chilliwack Pride Festival. Wildfires on Harrison Lake prompting an evacuation alert that has now gone up one notch. We'll get to that in a moment. And local athletes showcased at the Tokyo Olympics. Our special guests this week, DJ Pohl and Teri Westerby. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. And breaking news from Fraser Valley Regional District, the evacuation alert that was upgraded to an evacuation order now for Long Island and Harrison Lake. Now, earlier this week, Kent Harrison Search and Rescue were put in a position of making sure that people on Long Island knew that they were on standby should they have to be moved. It is now an order pursuant to the BC Emergency Program Act. An evacuation order has been issued by the FVRD due to immediate danger to life, safety, and health because of the huge fire risk. There is a fire on Long Island that is considered out of control. We will keep you up to date as the day goes on. Recently, the People's Party of Canada leader Maxime Bernier held a small rally in Yarrow. The self-described Mad Max tour across Western Canada appears as a clear sign that Bernier was ready for a federal election. Then, rumblings from Ottawa have shown that radio and TV ads were springing up, taking shots at Erin O'Toole and the federal Conservatives. That's now commonplace on media. Elections Canada said they were ready with protocol should a writ be dropped, which is yet to happen. Meanwhile, the Libertarians, the Greens, and the Chilliwack-Hope NDP are now mobilizing. DJ Pohl is the president of the Fraser Valley Labour Council. She was the volunteer campaign manager for Karen Bondar's successful run for the Chilliwack School Board. That was back in the spring. Now Pohl is the NDP candidate for Chilliwack-Hope. The official announcement literally will happen after this newscast signs off. It'll be on her Facebook page. Again, we stress the writ has not been dropped as of yet. Well, we have talked to DJ Pohl. We interviewed her just a little bit earlier in the day. That interview is coming up in a matter of minutes. Over the past long weekend, air quality and local wildfires dominating the news. We have mentioned Long Island on Harrison Lake, and that prompted Kent Harrison Search and Rescue to remain on standby. So as we now know, it is now from an alert, it has now gone to an order. Everyone has to get off that lake, get off that island rather. Now, smoke from the fires, as well as Okanagan's fires and south of Chilliwack Lake on the American side, have caused a number of health problems, especially for seniors here in the Fraser Valley. Chilliwack Fair will be 149 years old this year, and it will be a live event this weekend. Former Chilliwack Mayor and the host of chillTV's Hames Hot Mic, Clint Hames, will be performing with his tribute band, Judy Tuesday. As well, Harrison country artist Todd Richard will be in concert, showcasing some new music. So the theme this year is Stir Up Some Fun. And yes, the lemonade trucks and the mini donuts will be there. The fair's website has all the details. In February of 2020, Flair Airlines stopped its Abbotsford operations due to COVID and competition from Swoop Airlines as the discount choice for air travel. This past March, Flair made an about-face and resumed Abbotsford to Montreal and other Canadian cities on their agenda. The 6 non-stop destinations serving through Abbotsford are Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, and Winnipeg. Now, the discounter will start flights to Vegas on Halloween. Please hold the jokes. This is in anticipation of the border restrictions being relaxed and hopefully no further closures down the road due to COVID. And by the way, Swoop still flies out of Abbotsford as well. Meanwhile, Bellingham Airport is asking cross-border travelers not to call Whatcom County Health for travel info. They've been receiving somewhere between 800 and 1,000 calls a week from Canadian citizens asking about pre-border testing. So anybody looking for COVID-19 testing from Whatcom County Health and that testing site at Bellingham Airport for the purposes of entering Canada, well, you got to go through Northwest Labs in Bellingham. Again, another hoop to jump through. But this is all subject to change if any further obstacles happen to affect cross-border travel. And many Canadians, of course, do go to Bellingham to catch a flight to other parts of the U.S. The Chilliwack Vedder River Cleanup Society will have their September cleanup in person as they're able to organize a massive pickup as they've done over the years. The event starts at the Chilliwack Fish and Game Club on Chilliwack Lake Road. That is September the 26th. That cleanup will be limited to 100 volunteers. You do have to pre-register. The Facebook page for the Cleanup Society has all the details. Last week, chillTV told you that the Chilliwack Pride Festival is a go for Sunday, August 22nd. It's a live event, and that's thanks to the relaxing of the BC COVID rules. Teri Westerby is the board chair of the Pride Festival, and chillTV spoke to her about what to expect, and we have that interview coming up in a matter of minutes. chillTV's News of the Week, and we are joined by the board chair of the Chilliwack Pride Festival, Teri Westerby. Teri, I guess right off the bat, we should correct some confusion that was brought up. 2019, we had a live Pride Festival. 2020, everything got shelved because of COVID. 2021 rolls around, and the Fraser Valley Pride out of Abbotsford was a virtual event online, and kind of alluded to the fact that we didn't know what was going to happen with Chilliwack Pride. Which brings us to right here, right now. It is a live event. How quickly did this have to come together, or could you put this together for a live event? It doesn't sound like your window was that big to assemble everybody.
No, it was not. We kind of got word that we were allowed to have outdoor events, and we thought, not sure if this is really something that we want to do. And we started asking around what people wanted to do. And then one of our partners in the community, Swift Crafty Monkey, they reached out to us, and they've been a big sponsor of ours. And this year they said, hey, let's do something in the park. And we thought, okay, let's see what we can bring together. And the more people it's been so long since we've had anything in person that everyone's just like, can we do this and that and this? And it grew so much that now we have a full-blown festival all day long down Mill Street.
Was there anything with the city or BIA about permits, or was it pretty much carte blanche? Look, go, you got a date in August on the 22nd, go for it.
It kind of started as just like an idea, and it bloomed so quickly because we first wanted with the park, and then because of downtown Chilliwack Community Market, we wanted to extend that onto Mill Street and sort of connect the Pride event with the market. So I reached out to the BIA and all the businesses down Mill Street there, and everyone's just so excited to see something like this happen that it was just go ahead.
Now, one thing that you have stressed in the short time we've been able to promote this event is the fact it's family friendly. And some people are asking, how is that going to work? So how is it going to work?
So from 10 till 2, we're going to have the farmers market, and then down Mill Street, we're going to have the art market, which is youth-oriented art. So, or I shouldn't say it's oriented art, but a lot of the artists are youth themselves, and or they're some marginalized group. So we're trying to make sure that they're being lifted up, and especially after the pandemic, because it's already difficult enough to sell your art and showcase your art. And so we wanted to make sure that we were helping our community access each other, essentially, and that's what we're doing at the Downtown Chilliwack Community Market. So we're just sort of extending that out with the farmers market and the art market, and that's definitely a full family-friendly event. And we have activities, we have crafts, we have coloring. That's going to be with the Chilliwack Cultural Center. They're coming out to help us out. And then we've got games that are going to be happening in the park. You can win prizes and a lot of like what we saw in 2019, which was already a family-friendly event. So if you liked what you saw in 2019, it's just going to be bigger and better this year.
And the one thing I remember too was tons of music, and the barbecue was great. Are we going to have, I assume that's both coming back?
Because the event has grown so much this year, it's just difficult to coordinate the food in such a short period of time. So we've invited food trucks. There's already going to be a couple down at the Downtown Chilliwack Community Market. We're going to have Hard Grinds Cafe. They're going to be there selling coffee and snow cones. So that's going to be fun. And then we have Shawarma Time. They're down there as well. They're regularly down there, so they're a very big hit. They're going to be there. And we've got a couple more that might be coming, but that's sort of a sneak peek.
In the 2 years since that very first one in 2019, there was some obvious pushback, but there seems to be a lot of awareness coming along too. Have you noticed that, or have you bumped into anything that has got in your way for this organization for this year, or does it seem to be we are more accepting? Because Chilliwack did have a reputation for a while.
Yeah, it does have a reputation kind of out, and that's the thing about reputations. They're not always accurate when you're down to the nitty gritty of who we really are as a community. And from what I've seen, while there is definitely individual discrimination in people's lives, especially in school and amongst our family members, that's something that we still have a lot of work to do in this community. But as far as the organization of Chilliwack Pride Society and what we're trying to do here for the event, we've had absolutely no problems just getting support. The Chilliwack City is supporting us. We've actually got a grant from them. They're full on. They're giving us access to the park, and they're helping us along. We just had a great conversation with them today, actually. So they're all totally on board, and we've invited the mayor to come down, and he's already expressed interest to come. We also have the Chilliwack School Board has expressed some interest to come. So we're definitely seeing a lot of certain members of the community wanting to come out and support us as well.
Last but not least, if anybody wants to get more information, you have tons of social media to log on to?
Yeah, we're doing our best to do as much communication through social media as possible. We've got a full website, chilliwackpride.com, is going to have everything on there, as well as Facebook and Instagram.
Teri Westerby, who is the board chair of the Chilliwack Pride Festival, August the 22nd, am I correct, on a Sunday?
August 22nd, 10 a.m. till 8 p.m.
And that'll be the Downtown Central Community Park. Teri, as always, a big thank you, and you're always welcome to join us here on chillTV.
Thank you.
And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week. Don Lehn, chillTV's News of the Week, and we are going to be talking politics for the next couple of minutes. This has been an interesting week. Environment Canada, Elections Canada dropped a bombshell saying that should a writ be dropped, they are ready for a federal election. That raised some eyebrows. Both Fraser Valley News and chillTV have been hearing from the Libertarians. Then we heard from the Green Party. Then on Wednesday, this lovely lady, DJ Pohl, is going to be taking the official nomination for the NDP for the riding of Chilliwack-Hope. Officially, after this newscast is over, you'll be on Facebook and accepting the nomination. DJ, why, and I asked this of you when you were working on the Karen Bondar campaign for school board earlier this year, and I asked this of anybody who's going into politics for the first time. And I'm pretty blunt about it. Why the hell would you put yourself through this? I mean, seriously, with the way things are with social media, with flaming, with trolls, it can get pretty nasty out there. Yes, you are the president of the Fraser Valley Labor Council, so you've taken your fair share of shots. But this is a slightly different ballgame. And why would you get involved?
Oh, this is a completely different experience for me, something that I haven't experienced before in the public light in this capacity. I've held elected positions, voluntary positions within the labor movement for sure, but certainly within our community that I care deeply about, and I feel incredibly passionate being involved in the Chilliwack community as well as communities around the Fraser Valley. And just seeing and hearing and listening to people in the Chilliwack-Hope riding who are looking for representation that includes a strong, bold voice to represent and fight for members in the riding. I have years of experience advocating for working people within the labor movement and outside of the labor movement as well, ensuring that all the voices that need to be at the table are at the table and are being heard and making space for that. So I have a particular skill set in bringing that together and taking that leap in putting your own name out there is absolutely not easy, but I have been inspired to do so by those who came before me. And if I can help create that space and empower others to feel the same and be inspired as well to step up and really see themselves reflected in the leadership of our elected government, and even those who are putting their name forward for that. I think that makes a huge difference in representation in our community, and what we can achieve and how we have those discussions. And I'm excited to do this. It is quite the step, but I'm happy and honored to put my name forward and have this opportunity to do so.
You've got your work cut out for you, because this is the Stroll family name. Not only Mark as a conservative, his father Chuck as reform. Do you really feel in heart of hearts that the NDP has a shot at taking this riding, similar to what happened with the provincial election?
I do, absolutely. There is always a shot, and it is the members in the riding, in the Chilliwack-Hope riding, that democratically select who they want their representative in the House of Commons to be. I'd be honored to be the member of Parliament for Chilliwack-Hope, and that is in the hands of our community members, of our voters in the riding. I do think it's absolutely possible, and if it isn't successful this time, I think there's a lot of positive gains that can come from this, both for myself personally, but the community in general, in terms of that capacity, that creating the space for voices and representation that maybe looks a little bit different to continue to grow and address the issues that we're facing in our community. There's many, our communities are changing and they're growing quite quickly, and our ability and capacity to address those changes and make sure that no one's falling behind in that, and everyone is supported, is so important for me. So regardless of the outcome, I'm here to continue to work, whether it be this time or next time, to be your MP representing Chilliwack-Hope, and just continue to make positive change in our community that benefits everyone.
Normally, I mean, we totally get flyers from current MP Mark Stroll all the time. But again, timing is everything. Your announcement, Libertarians, Green Party, Elections Canada, and then this one that Mark Stroll delivered on Thursday, as well as an email, as well as hard copy, on selective fisheries, which is a hot topic for anyone in the Fraser Valley. Quote, anglers here in Chilliwack-Hope have been asking for a plan to allow selective fisheries with plentiful species while maintaining a conversation about vulnerable salmon stocks. It was a private member's introduction. This would give the federal minister, fisheries minister, authority to create selective fisheries, increase the number of marked hatchery fish for anglers to target. And in this, have your say, not only for the average person, but also for anglers. Do you agree with this? Would you do something different should you become the MP?
That is a great question, a very specific one. I think what I would do would look very different in ensuring that the very important and varied voices that need to be heard in that decision would be heard and allowed to listen to all the issues. If folks who know me to be an advocate for environmental justice and climate change and protecting habitats and ecosystems that are plentiful and beautiful in the Chilliwack-Hope riding. And they're also very delicate. And I fully support the wild salmon defenders. Locally, Eddie Gardner and crew have been doing fantastic work to push for change that will ensure that our wild salmon stock is protected and sustainable and resilient in the future. They're facing unprecedented threats coming from all angles, warming ocean temperatures, as well as fish farms and what that looks like. So in terms of open water fish farms, which is the big one, right, out in the oceans where there's cohabitation and an impact on the wild salmon, that's a little bit different than inland salmon or fish farming, which does look a little bit different as well. And there is potential opportunity for growth and Indigenous community involvement in that for a sustainable fish farm that is culturally appropriate and sensitive to that. So it's a great topic, a very specific one, but one I do actually feel quite passionate about myself. I haven't seen that flyer come out yet, but I'm glad you brought it up.
It should be in your email. It should be in your email box. We have to stop you right there because we know you have to go to your own Facebook page to make this nomination official. And again, as we have been recording this, we are still waiting for the official writ to be dropped. DJ Pohl, we'll say it now. You are the NDP candidate for the upcoming federal election, whenever that is, for the riding of Chilliwack-Hope. And I'm sure we will be talking again soon.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Don.
You're welcome. DJ Pohl, I'm Don Lehn, and you're watching News of the Week. chillTV Sports, the West Coast Kart Club, posted some sad news over the weekend on the passing of Chris Genge. And thanks to Chris, many current and past members were introduced to karting at Greg Moore Raceway. So in lieu of flowers, you're asked to make donations to the Canadian Cancer Foundation. His service is actually today, this Thursday, in Abbotsford. Many local Olympians are in the news. Mission swimmer Brent Hayden didn't medal in Tokyo. He did medal bronze in 2012 in London in the 100-meter freestyle. But when he came back home from his literal all-day flight from Tokyo, his parents greeted him at the airport with what else? A pizza from Mission Pizza. Now that's a homecoming. Now, in Olympic soccer, Canada will fight for gold against Sweden in the newly rescheduled women's match. That will be 5 a.m. Pacific time Friday morning. That was rescheduled from the original start time, which would have been 7 o'clock, literally as we signed off on this Thursday night. But because of concerns of the excessive heat, that was changed. Both Canada and Sweden agreed to this. And Chilliwack's own Jordan Huddema is on the Canadian side. chillTV weather, it's going to almost feel cold. 21 degrees and a chance of showers for the weekend. But by next Tuesday, Wednesday, we're supposed to be back up to the mid-30s. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. Enjoy the Chilliwack Fair. I'm Don Lehn.